Okay, I'm gonna jump in with this French. This is my first video, and the first time I've ever really tried to start learning French. I have several books, and I've listened to cassettes in the past, but I never took it seriously or tried to memorize any of the grammar or any of the vocabulary. Um, my pronunciation is going to be really bad. I don't know all the rules of pronunciation. I'm going to just jump right in and I'm going to correct myself as I go. And so we're not expecting anything at this point except total failure. But what we're really going to do is just get started. And so I'm going to try to find things that are related to pronunciation. And the first thing I found in this book, so this book, Rendezvous, okay, is an invitation to French. So it is a beginner course. And I just got this book yesterday. And so it gives the accent marks. And what are the different accent marks? Okay, and it calls it les accents. Les accents. Les accents. Accent marks are extremely important. Sometimes they change the pronunciation of a letter, other times they have no effect on the pronunciation. But instead, distinguish between two words otherwise spelled the same. So, kind of like in Spanish, the word sí, meaning yes, sí, it has an accent on it. Now, you could say that there's an accent there. You could be like, sí, and that's accented because it's got a little bit of an exclamation point. But obviously, that's the only syllable in the word, so why would you need to have an accent there? And the answer is because there's another word, sí, without the accent, which means if. Okay, and so it changes the meaning of the word. And just as in Italian, you've got which means is, he is. Has an accent, even though it's only one letter. Okay, so I think that's what they're talking about here. Distinguish between two words otherwise spelled the same. A French word written without its accent marks is misspelled. Okay, so you got to have the accent in there, otherwise you're spelling it wrong. And so the same goes in Spanish, I guess. I remember when I was in second level Spanish, my teacher, he said that he had a brother or a cousin or somebody who never put the accents in his words. And he said, hey, why do you write all the words without the accents? Like, I mean, what are you, some kind of lazy writer? And so his brother wrote back and drew a circle, and it had a bunch of accent marks in the circle. And he said, here, you put them where you want. And so the different accents in French, I have a hard time remembering to say French instead of Spanish or Russian. Right? So les accents, it looks like it says less accents. Les being the article there. So like the accents, les accents, but I think it might be pronounced les accents. And so the first one you have is just like in Italian, and it says accent aigu, 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 aigu is that kind of accent. And that sounds like the word acute, like an acute accent. And so we've heard that before. An acute accent or a grave accent, grave, is the one that goes the other way. So the one pointing forward is acute, and the one pointing backwards is grave or grave. So you've got aigu or grave. Okay? And so the it points forward, but the example it's giving here for the glav accent is on the letter A, not on the letter E. So, of course, we differentiate when we are studying a foreign language. We refer to the letter as it's pronounced in that language. So, when you say you're actually meaning the letter E in English. So, we train ourselves to always say the vowel in the language that we are learning into, okay, instead of our old habitual English language that we are moving from. So when I say I don't mean ah. The letter A, the first letter of the alphabet, is ah in this other language. So I'm assuming, I think the letter A, I'm not going to assume, the letter A in French is actually pronounced ah, I would think, because it is a Latin language, a Latin-based Romance language, and that's what we get. So I could be wrong, and like I said, I will correct myself at later times once I learn the corrections. So we're going to learn the corrections as we go. When I was at community college, I met a girl who was in the French program. And she told me that on the first day, the instructor told the class not to try to pronounce the word the way they think it should be pronounced, but to pronounce it sort of with, sort of the lame-ass English pronunciation, just to learn the word without worrying about the pronunciation, because they're probably not going to get it and they're probably going to get confused. I'm not going to go that route because I have experience with languages, and I think that I can approximate how the pronunciation is supposed to be. And I'm not going to get it right. I'm not going to get it right every time. I know, how French people are when Americans butcher their language. They don't like it. And I'm not trying to please those people. I'm trying to learn the language. So I'm going to bear with myself. So again, accent aigu, meaning E with an acute accent. And then accent grave, meaning an A with the grave accent. Now, what does the word grave mean? I mean, it's a place where you bury your dead, but what else does it mean? Grave also means serious. And then acute means like perky, right? Is acute. Acute is like perky. Or it is sharp. It's a sharp accent. And then grave, I would say because it's serious. It's kind of like the difference in music between major and minor chords. So major is happy, acute. And then minor is sad and grave. And so I would imagine the grave accent gives it more of a long sound or a downturn. Grave, okay, as opposed to aigu, So there we go. And then so the O accent circonflet. This is going to be a hard one because it's got an X in it. I don't know how the X is supposed to be pronounced. U? I don't know. I don't think it's X. But we'll see. I mean, maybe there are cases where it is pronounced that way. We'll see. So right now, I would say O accent circonflexe. Okay. So that's an O with a little house on top of it. A little rooftop. A thatched little roof. Okay. O accent circonflexe. Circonflet. I don't know. I don't know how to say it. Okay, so the next one is I, which would be pronounced E in a Romance language. If you see the letter I, you can assume it's pronounced E. So you're not saying the letter E, it's an I, and it's pronounced E. Okay, so I treme. I treme. Okay, so treme, the accent itself that I'm describing, the I treme, is an I with like a diaresis over the top of it. Also called an umlaut in German. A diaresis is different from an umlaut because an umlaut in German means like if it's over an O, you pronounce the O while you're I, So it's like your mouth is going I, but you're doing those sounds kind of at the same time. I. So that's what an umlaut does. But a diaresis separates vowels from each other. So I'm assuming in this case, I don't want to assume, but since it's not coupled with another vowel, because in Dutch you have a diaresis that says that you've got two vowels next to each other and they don't make a diphthong. You separate the vowels, not that they're necessarily staccato, but that they are two different consonants. And I can't think of an example off the top of my head. So I'm going to assume for now that this itrema, the trema accent, is going to be more like an umlaut. Okay, so now you've got the C with a little squiggle underneath. What other languages do you find that in? Well, you find it in Portuguese, which is the other language I'm going to start learning soon. I'm going to start learning Portuguese, and I'm going to start working these two languages in tandem. I want to learn French and Portuguese at the same time, because Portuguese also incorporates some Italian, which I already have some familiarity with, and it incorporates Spanish, which I also have familiarity with. And so one of the things about Portuguese is it sort of bridges the gap between Spanish, Italian, and French, as far as I can tell. And so this S, or not an S, but a C, with a little squiggle underneath, it's got like a little goatee hanging down, okay? And that is called, I want to say it gives it the S, it gives it the S sound. Like in Russian, you have their letter S looks like a RC, our letter C in Russian is S. Okay, so in French here we've got this letter C with a goatee hanging off of it, and it's called c'est dire. The two L's, I'm a little bit confused right now with the two L's. I don't know if the two L's together make a Y sound, like in Spanish almost, like where you say llamado, right? Called. Llamar. Okay, two L's. Like in llama, but we say llama, right, with the two L's. But in Spanish, the two L's make the Y sound like a letter Y. Okay, so this is French. And you got your C with the squiggle. I'm assuming it has an S type of C sound, a soft S. And c'est dire. Or you could say just C, cedille. Okay, because it's spelled C-E-D-I-L-L-E with the accent over the E. Okay, so cedille. Okay, so I'm just going to pronounce it like that for now. Okay, so it gives some examples. I didn't even see this. So the E accent aigu has an example in the word étudiant. Étudiant. Looks like étudiant. Étudiant with an accent over the initial E. Étudiant. Okay, and so the second one is the A accent grave. Okay, with the little backwards back accent over the grave accent over the A. And the example here is A plus. A plus. Or is it A plus? A plus. Maybe it is plus. A plus. A plus. We'll see. Okay, so now we've got the O accent circonflexe. Circonflexe. The O with the roof. Okay. O accent circonflexe. And the example here is a bientôt. It looks like a bientôt. A bientôt. A bientôt. A bientôt. Somehow I think I'm doing it wrong, but a bientôt. A bientôt. Okay, so the next one, itrema, which is the I, the E, called an E, with the diaresis or umlaut over the top of it. Itrema. And the word here is just our word naive, which we use. It's a cognate, French cognate. We use it in the English language. Naive. Naive. Okay. And so the last one here is the C with the little goatee under it. C'est cédille. C'est cédille. I'm going to say cédille. That sounds good to me for now. And the example is savant. Savant. Which is the CA with the squiggle and VA. In other words, so two-letter words. Savant. Okay, so there is a little section here on page 10 called prononciation. Prononciation. And there's no accent marks over that word. And it has a little green box that says, you will learn more about French pronunciation in your laboratory manual and in the Étude de prononciation sections of this text, chapters 1 through 6. Following are some basic pronunciation guidelines that will get you started. And then it says, allez-y, or is it allez-y, allez, allez? I don't know what that means. Is that like good luck or something? It looks like it says allez dash y, allez-y. I don't know how to say it. And so yeah, so étude de prononciation. You will learn more about French pronunciation in your laboratory Oh, okay. Oh, the étude de prononciation sections in this text. So in this book, the sections marked étude de prononciation are going to be your pronunciation sections. And so we're going to focus on that first. I want to get pronunciation down before anything else. So when you learn a language, like in Russian, you have to learn the alphabet. If you don't learn the alphabet in Russian, you're going to be lost forever. So the sooner you learn the alphabet in Russian, the sooner you can get started. And it's best in Russian, just for your information, whoever is listening to this, if you learn how to write cursive, because you're never going to learn that blocky shit that everything's written in. In Russian, the block letters are rarely ever used in handwriting. So you just have to get used to writing in cursive. Even though I don't even write cursive in English, like I kind of have like a hybrid type of handwriting that I use, which probably isn't that good. I probably should be writing cursive. It'd probably help me write faster. But for some reason, I've gotten used to not using it because it's hard to read my cursive if I'm writing too fast or sloppy. But no matter how sloppy I write when I print, I can always kind of read it back. And so with Russian, it's the only language I really write cursive in. And so you kind of have to learn cursive with Russian. It's almost impossible to write with their block letters. It just takes forever. Yeah, so I'm just going to have to keep an eye out for the étude de prononciation little sections. And yeah, so we got to get that first. We have to get the pronunciation first, especially with French, because we don't want to offend the little French guys with their little funny hats. Okay, so articulation. The articulation of French is physically more tense and energetic than that of English. The articulation is tense and energetic compared to English. French sounds generally produced at the front of the mouth are never slurred or swallowed. Okay, so like in Spanish, there's a lot of, you elide a lot in Spanish. Okay, like for instance, well, think of the word, I'll use a cuss word in Spanish. Chingao. Chingao. People say chingao, man. Chingao ese. It means like fuck, man. It's kind of like, but it's past tense. It means like fucked. It's this is fucked, man. But like it's chingao is actually chingado. Chingado with the D. And even the D is elided to sound like a TH sound. Ado. Ado, right? So instead of saying chingado, they say chingao. You know, and so that ado gets elided. And so in Spanish a lot gets elided. And I'm trying to compare with Dutch. I can't really think right now in Dutch, but I know in Spanish, when you speak Spanish fluently, it's necessary to elide certain things. And so what this is saying right here about French is that French doesn't get elided. You have to make all the sounds. Italian is another one that you don't elide. I notice with Italian, everything is very precise. And one thing I'll say about Italian is that the vowels are very important. You have to nail every vowel. If you get one vowel wrong, you've missed the whole point. In fact, each vowel itself is a word in certain cases. Like, each vowel can be used as its own word. There is a word for every vowel. So, like, I don't think in English you see that at all. And so the vowels in Italian are very much pronounced and they're very distinct. And that's part of the training of Italian that's difficult, is getting the vowels right. Every language has its own hang-ups that make it more difficult than other languages. In Russian, the major hang-up is your case usage. Usage is very important in Russian, and it's the hardest thing for English-speaking people to grasp. And so, because we don't even have that, we don't even have, like, we have a little bit of it, like the whole idea of, like, you and I went to the store, as opposed to, you know, the piano fell on you and me. Okay, in the first case you say you and I because you're the subject, but if the piano fell on you and me, is that the dative case? Yeah. Or even in the accusative case, the guy came up and punched you and me. Because if you omit you, you would say he came up and punched me. But in the first case, where you say you and I went to the store, if I omit you, then I just say I went to the store. And so that's how that rule kind of works. And that is a difference in case. And so that is one case where in English we use case. But we don't use case for very much. We don't differentiate very much. Another word we use that is case sensitive is whether we say who or whom. It happened to whom it may concern, but who is at the door. Okay, so like there we have a difference in case. Okay, so here we are back at articulation. The articulation of French is physically more tense and energetic. French sounds generally produced at the front of the mouth, the front of the mouth, are never slurred or swallowed. And when you what does that mean when you say swallow? Okay, there is a lot of swallowing that happens in Dutch. In Dutch, the words that end in en, like as in the infinitive forms of the verbs, which end in en, and also the plural of certain nouns that end in en, the ones that don't end in s, are dropped. You drop that in. You'd say, like, okay, the word Hallenbad in German, you would just say Hallenbad, the soft L's. In Dutch, it would be more like Hallebad. So that you would kind of swallow that in there. I don't know if that's exactly correct in that particular case. I mean, I'm venturing a little bit there. But there are other words where that is certainly the case, where the n, the word eens, when you see the word eens, E-E-N-S, written in Dutch, it just sounds like the letter S, like apostrophe S. So you actually kind of swallow almost the entire word. Here we got, pronounce these phrases after your instructor. So we don't have an instructor, obviously. We're flying solo. And what will we use here? Bonjour, ça va. Bonjour, ça va. Ça va. But it has a question mark. Ça va. Bonjour, ça va. That's number one. Number two is oui, ça va bien. So is it bien? Like in Spanish, bien, muy bien. So obviously means good. Ça va bien. Is it bien or is it bien? Like Beyonce, bien. Oui, we know oui. Everybody knows oui. It's O-U-I. French, O-U-I is oui. Oui, ça va bien. Ça va bien. I don't know. We'll see. Number three is, I'm going to just use my English pronunciation for this. I'm going to sound like an American and say, comment vous appelez vous, with a hyphen between Apeles and vus. So apeles, what does that sound like? Apeles, what sounds like an appellation, a name. Apeles vus, like, is that maybe your name? Maybe. Vus sounds like maybe it would be you. I don't know. Now the first word, comment, comment. I'm sure they don't say comment. I would think they would say comment. Comment vu? Appelez-vous? Appelez-vous? Okay, number 4. Je m'appelle Rachid Abdiba. They're using like what looks like an Indian name. Je m'appelle. Okay, so J-E, je. This is number 4. Je M apostrophe appelé. M'appelle. Je m'appelle. And then it gives a proper noun. Rachid Abdiba. Okay, so I think that's an Indian name. Doesn't sound French or any kind of Western European. Number 5 is Je ne comprends pas. So it looks like it says Je ne comprends pas. Je ne comprends pas. Number 6. So this one has 2 accents. So I don't know which one takes the accent, if they both take the accent, or if one of them is there to differentiate the meaning between that and another word that's spelled the same, remember? Répétez. Répétez. So it looks like it says repeatez or répétez, but there's accents over both es. Répétez. I'm going to venture off and say répétez. Répétez. And then here's one we all know. S'il vous plaît. Okay, we all know that one. So in this case, play, the I has the house accent. So not only can the O have it, but the I can have it. Répétez. Répétez s'il vous plaît. I felt like I said that pretty good. Okay, so vowel sounds. A diphthong consists of 2 vowel sounds pronounced together within the same syllable. Remember how I said a diaeresis separates those? A diphthong consists of 2 vowel sounds pronounced together within the same syllable, such as the word bay. There is a tendency in English to prolong almost any vowel into a diphthong. In the words rosé, café, entrée, the final vowel is drawn out into 2 separate vowel sounds. In French, each vowel in the words rosé, café, and entrée is pronounced with a single pure sound. So in French, it doesn't prolong the sound, is what it's saying here. In English, it's saying that in English, there's a tendency to draw out those sounds. Rosé, rosé, a. Okay, that's what it's saying. It's saying that in English, we have a tendency to draw out those sounds. Rosé, café, a, café. Entree is how we say entree. Okay, meaning like the entrees are here. Like the food before you get your, maybe do you get the escargot as an entree, or is that your main course? A little bit of foreplay for dinner, right? Entree. The final vowel is drawn out into 2 separate vowel sounds in English. A long A sound and an E. Okay, A. Okay, in French, each vowel in the words rosé, café, and entrée is pronounced with a single pure sound. So, café, café. The R is just like in Dutch, you can have a throaty R. I'm assuming that's the sound we're getting from the R here. I don't think they roll their R's in Dutch. I don't think you get the r, like in Italian. Everything's r. Everybody sounds like a motorboat. And in Spanish, you've got the same thing. The R in Spanish almost sounds like a D. You don't trill the R in Spanish as much as you do in Italian. Ragazzi in Italian, the word for children. Ragazzi, kids. Like you're jackhammering. Okay, so ragazzi in Italian, but the word for gift in Spanish, regalo, regalo. It's almost a D, regalo. There is a little bit of trill there. But if it's in the middle of a word, ere. Like, so, eres, the word eres, you are. Eres. Okay, there's no trill. It's almost like a D. Eres. So these are the words we are to pronounce after our instructor. Okay, so entrée, café, matinée, like a matinee, blasé. So those are all cognates. Those are words we use. Okay, for number 2, it has 4 words that just look like English words. You got cage, page, sage, and table. Now, I'm going to try to approximate these with what I would think of as a French accent. So, like, cage, page, sage, and table. Table. Okay? Not sure if that's right. I'm not trying to impress anybody here. Number 3, we've got beau, like B-E-A-U, as in like a beauty. Beau, beau. And then, here's one that's hard. Gouache, right? The word gouache, like gouache paint. Gouache. Is it gouache? Gouache, gouache, or gouache. We say gouache, but I don't know if that's the same word. It's like, it looks like it says gouache, like kind of like grouch, but without the R and with an E at the end. Gouache. In English, I would say gouache. In French, I would say like gouache. Okay, so parole, like the word parole, he's on parole. So what does that mean? Parole. In Italian, means word. Okay, parole. In Italian, hey, parole. You know, that would be like the Italian way to say it. I would think that in French, it would be like parole, parole. I don't know if that's right. Parole. Okay, and then metro, metro, metro. Metro, he's metrosexual. Metro. How do you say it in French? I would say like metro, metro. Okay, I don't know if that's right. Number 4. There's rouge, rouge. She put on some rouge. Okay, I would say like rouge, rouge. Okay, and then V-O-U-S. Is that vu? Vu? Or is it vus? I don't think it's vus. I think it's vu. I'm just guessing, man. Now, C-H-O-U, which looks like chow. Chow. Oh, chow. In Spanish, chow with an A would be just the same as C-I-A-O, chow. In Italian, the I-A-O, which almost kind of smacks of like Portuguese. But I don't know what it means. Is it show? C-H-O-U in French. Show? 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 I don't know what it means. And then here's a word for you. Acajou. 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 A-C-A. Okay, because if it was the asa, it would have that little thing hanging down, right? It would be like acajou. 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 A-C-A-J-O-W. Acajou. Acajou. Okay, cognates. French and English have many cognates. Mots, apparentes, apparente. Mots. I don't know. I don't have any reference for that. Mots. M-O-T-S. Mots. Like Mott's applesauce, but with only one T. Mots. apparente, 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 molto apparente. Is that a cognate? French and English have many cognates. Molto apparente. That is, words spelled similarly with similar meanings. Even though two words may look alike in French and English, they generally do not sound the same. Pronounce these cognates after your instructor. Well, where's my frickin' instructor, man? I'm on my own here. L'attitude, right? So it looks like it says like le, like just like the L with an apostrophe. But see, there's an apostrophe because the following word starts with a vowel. Okay, we do that in Italian as well. And I think a little bit in Spanish. Latitude. It almost sounds like latitude, but it's l'attitude. It's not l'attitude. Latitude. 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 Number 2. La police. It's not la police. That would require an accent, right? La police. La police. That sounds almost Italian. La police. In Italian you say polizia. Polizia. Very, you enunciate in Italian. La polizia. Okay, so, yeah, it looks like it says like la police. The way that we spell it, same spelling. Now, la balle. La balle, 2 L's, la balle. La balle, la balle. In Spanish, you would, if you're speaking, there are different dialects of Spanish. The Mexican Spanish, I don't think they do that. Balle, balle. They would do like balle, like llamado instead of like llamado. La balle. I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna assume that it's got the j. I like that j. It sounds French. La balle. I might be wrong. Les bracelets. Like bracelet, basically. Bracelet. Les bracelet. It's les bracelets. Bracelet. Les bracelets. Number 5 is la passion. La passion. La passion. Now, la conclusion. La conclusion. La conclusion. L'injustice. I'm gonna make myself laugh with this one. L'injustice. L'injustice. I don't know. Is it l'injustice? L'injustice. La hospital? Is that did I find a typo? Is there a typo in here? L'hôpital? It shouldn't be l'hospital? Is is that what you get with the oh? There's no S in here. Shouldn't it be hospital? It says l'hôpital. So maybe it's a typo. Maybe l'hôpital is a word. I would think it would be l'hospital, like the hospital. Do they take the S out of hospital in French? Where's your S? Okay, the International Phonetic Alphabet, IPA. Is that what it's called? The International Phonetic Alphabet. So it does have that in here. I've never used the International Phonetic Alphabet. Maybe I should, since, what am I up to, 8 languages now? The International Phonetic Alphabet later in Rendezvous and throughout the laboratory manual, which I don't have. I don't have the lab manual for this book. You will see symbols from the International Phonetic Alphabet, or IPA, India Pale Ale, a system for transcribing speech sounds. I should know this, but I don't. IPA symbols are used in dictionaries and grammars of all languages, including English. The IPA listing the sounds of the French language appears below and on page 12. We're on page 11 right now. Each symbol representing a sound is given in the column on the left. In the middle column is the normal spelling of a word or words containing the sound. On the right is the phonetic transcription of that word in the IPA. Here's a little block of oral vowels. Madame, madame. So I'm going to trust that I can interpret this phonetic alphabet because I'm not so sure. Okay, dis is like Dix, D-I-X. When I was living in Allen Park, I think once you got into Lincoln Park, there was Dix Road, which was a really busy street, and I wasn't allowed. My parents said, "Don't cross Dix." They don't want me to cross Dix. They didn't want me crossing Dix with my friend. But it's D-I-X, and it says here that it's dis, dis. Okay, répéter. Répéter is a word with a Z at the end. So the Z is silent at the end of this word with the EZ. Répéter, répéter. And it's got two accents, two acute accents, both over the E's, or the E's. Répète, répète. That sounds almost Italian. Répète. Okay, so like, I think when I said it, did I say répéter? Okay, that last E, I put the accent on, and that's the only one written here that doesn't have an accent. So I'm thinking I'm saying it wrong. It's probably like répète, or is it répète? Répète. Okay, here's one we know. We all know merci, merci. And then there's jour, jour, J-O-U-R, jour. Now, here's the word salute. Salute. Yeah. In Spanish, we say salud. Salud. And in Italian, I think it's salute. And what does it mean? Salute. It means like health, right? Yeah. It's kind of like Gesundheit in Dutch, or in German, Gesundheit. Gesundheit. You say it when people sneeze. Salute means health. Salutary. Salutation is how you greet people. You greet people by wishing them good health. So these are all just kind of linguistic norms that are cultural. And this particular version, I don't know about this international phonetic alphabet. It has a Y at the end for this. Is it Sali? Or is it Say? It looks like it says Saley. Okay, an American looked at this and be, "Oh, it says Saley. What do you mean Saley?" Okay, so, but it looks like Salute. But this international phonetic alphabet makes it look like it says Sali. Sali. Saley. S-A-L-Y is how the international phonetic alphabet says it. Okay, so where are we now? O, O, A-U. The phonetic alphabet says O. There's an O in there. So O, O is A-U in French. Okay, now the next one looks like it says porter. Porter. But pot, I'm guessing, that looks like it's how it's telling me to pronounce it. But, porter. 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 Yeah, la porter. Okay, so like, port. Okay, now, here's that famous word, D-E-U-X. I believe it means two. And I think we say deux. And the phonetic alphabet has an O with a line through it. What language has an O with a line through it, where you're like crossing out letters and shit? I'm thinking, is that Norwegian? Does Norwegian have an O with a slash through it? Or is that Polish? Does Polish have that? Polish has like letters crossed out and shit. They got like T's like crossed out and shit. And then I know that Scandinavian languages often will have like a letter A with a little circle over it, like a degree, symbol. Okay, so again, deux for two, right? Now, neuf, neuf, and it's giving an O connected to an E in the phonetic alphabet. E. And I'm thinking that that's like an umlaut. Neuf. Okay, now, de, de. It's giving me a, what do you call the upside down letter E? What is that? A schwa. It's giving me a schwa. De, de, de. Okay, so those are oral vowels. That whole set was oral vowels. In fact, I might insert this later. Okay, so now the nasal vowels. The nasal vowels are O, like en, en. It's got like an A with like a little wave over the top. O, because you have to make it sound nasal. O, that's nasal. Comment, comment, the word comment in English. Comment, comment. Okay, and so this is examples of the letter A with a little squiggly line over the top. Okay, now you got this word bien, bien, like in Spanish. Bien. It's got to be nasal. Bien. Bien. And then look, the word vingt. I think it means 20. Vingt. Vingt. Okay, but it has the pronunciation here is like vingt, 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 vingt. It's like venti in Italian. Venti. Like you go to the coffee shop to Starbucks and get a fucking venti. Vingt. Okay, what is it in Spanish? It's veinte. Vente. With an E at the end. In Italian is an E at the end. Venti. Venti versus vente. And here it's vinct, but it's pronounced vent. Vent. I think so. Okay, now we're still in nasal vowels. That's why I'm assuming that. Now we've got bon, as in bonjour. Bonjour. Bon means good. So jour must be day. We had that earlier. That was in the oral vowels. We had jour in the oral vowels. Jour, bonjour. Okay, so bon, pardon. Is it pardon or is it pardon? Pardon. Pardon. Okay, pardon. 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 How do you say it in Spanish? Is it perdón or is it pardon? Pardon. Pardon. Sí, pardon. Here we've got pardon. And then here's the next section, little section here is semi-vowels. And what's a semi-vowel? Does that mean it's a diphthong? Or is it shortened in some way? Semi. Why is it semi-vowel? Semi means half. A half vowel? Huit. Or is it huit? H-U-I-T. Huit. Huit. The next one is R-I-E-N. Like reen. Reen. I-E. I before E except after C. Reen. But here it looks like it says like rien. Rien. There we go. Now we're talking. Rien. Rien. Okay, and then so that's R-I-E-N. Rien. Rien. And then the next one is M-O-I. Moi. 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 Moi? You talking to moi? Moi? It even says it. It says moi. Moi. And then oui is in here. Looks like we, like a Wii charger. Okay, here we are. We've turned the page. We're on page 12. So here we're bonjour, right? Bon. Okay. Chalet. 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 We say that? Do we say that? I've never said that. You ever say chalet? Yeah, well, we kind of had a chalet. I don't know what it means. What's chalet? Chalet. There's des. Like this. Yeah, she's like, my name is Des. D-E-S. Des. But it's really de. It doesn't pronounce the S. The S is silent. De. Photo. So we've got a PH. They do the F for the PH. It's not P. It's photo. A lot of languages will just put an F there. I think Dutch does that. Photo. Pretty sure Dutch uses an F. I don't think they use a PH. Even I think in Spanish, fotografía, I think they use the F. Here we've got a PH. So I guess French uses the PH. Photo. Now, guy, Guy. G-U-Y, like how we say guy, but it's capitalized. So is that it must be a proper noun. G-U-Y, which we would say guy. Hey, my name is Guy. You guys know Guy? Okay, and then there's G-E, J. And then here we go. Champagne. It says chapin, champagne. Does it have two nasal sounds? Champagne. It looks like it says Japan in the IPA. It says looks like it says Japan, but it's champagne. Okay. Here we go. Here's where we have the two L's. We're going to find out. We're going to fuck around. We're going to find out. All right. Appel. It looks like apple. It's A-P-P-E-L-L-E. Double L. Two hockey sticks. Appel. Okay, and I think that's got to be a name. Is that the last name? Is that the first name? Appel. An appellation. They called it by an appellation. We lived in the Appalachians. Okay. Appel. Now. Mal. That sounds pretty simple. No tricks there. Mal. M-A-L. Usually that means bad in most languages. Mal. It's like a grand mal seizure. Mal. In German languages and Germanic languages means like a time or a turn. It's my turn, dude. One time. I'm gonna tell you one time. Einmal. Okay, but in Romance languages it means bad. Mal. What does it mean in Russian? I'm not thinking that. See, I'm not thinking in that language right now. I'm trying to think in French. And that's what you do. You kind of put yourself in the mindset. Because, I mean, like, when you have 5 languages at your disposal, you're kind of like in a compartment. You sort of compartmentalize these things. And when you immerse yourself into a language, you really get into that compartment. And you almost can't really think in another language. Which I was really surprised with my Russian teacher. She was a very, very intelligent woman. And she spoke fluent. Of course she spoke fluent Russian. I mean, she wasn't Russian, actually. She was Lithuanian. But she spoke Russian in the home. So she was a Lithuanian married to a Ukrainian man, but they spoke Russian. So she also spoke German very well. And I remember the German teacher came into class, one of the German, like the German dean or whatever came in. And she started speaking to him in German. And she flipped from English to Russian to German, just like lickety split. It was just seamless. I was really impressed by that because I've never been able to do that. for me, I mean, she's more fluent. She's at a higher level in those languages than I am. But it was just crazy to me how her mind just switched. It was like switching gears. I can't do that. Like if I'm in that compartment, I'm in that compartment, and like just now, like I still right now I can't think of what is mal in Russian. I can't remember. I know it. It's in there somewhere. It's in my mind, but I don't have access to it because I'm in right now. I'm in the French compartment right now. Okay, so no, no. Okay, it's just non. Okay, in Italian we've got non. No, no, non parliamo. We're not talking. Non parliamo. Non. Not. It negates. Okay. In Spanish, you just say no. You don't have to put the final N on there. I don't want to think of an example. I don't need to. But in Italian, non. Non parlo. I don't speak. Non parlo no italiano. I don't speak any Italian. Io non parlo italiano. That's how I would say it. If I was going to say I don't speak Italian, which I wouldn't say because I speak some, I would say io parlo un po' italiano. I speak a little bit of Italian. The whole idea here is non. Non is something that is used in certain Romance languages, but not others, because we use it in apparently French, we use it in Italian definitely, and we don't use it in Spanish. We don't use non. That was non-heinous. Like Bill and Ted. But here, like, even the non is pronounced no. No. It's nasal. No. So it kind of has an N. Remember, s'il vous plaît? We have the word play here. Play. Like kid and play. Yo, kid and play. Again. Play. Revoir. Revoir. War. Are we rolling the R at the end of the word? Revoir. Okay. Comme. Looks like it says kami, but without the I. Come. And here it says comme. Comme. So we're nasal. On. Comme. Okay? It looks like come. Come. Here we've got the C with the goatee. Sa. It gives it an S sound. Sa. And then C. Now, C, like we said, in Spanish and Italian, means yes, but with an accent. Okay? There's no accent on the I here for C. So I'm thinking that maybe it's like Spanish and means if. Si. Si quieres, if you want. In Spanish, you say si quieres, if you want. So here we've got the word si. Si. I don't know what it means. Doesn't give definitions. Okay. Now, here's one we've all heard. Mademoiselle. Mademoiselle. Okay, so we're pronouncing the L, so that double L with the E after it. It's settled. It has the L sound. Remember earlier I was like, what is it? Ella? Like, I didn't know. I didn't know what it was. Ella? Because like in Spanish, you would have it turn into a Y. The two L's turn into a Y in Spanish. But here, mademoiselle. Mademoiselle. Now, this actually has the D in the IPA. It's like mademoiselle. Mademoiselle. Martin. Martin. The name, Martin. It's a proper noun. I would think it would be like Martin. But it's not. Martin. Martin. Martin is Martin. Okay, now va. The pronunciation is exactly like the spelling of the word. And the IPA also, just two letters, VA. 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 I don't know what it means. I don't know what any of this stuff means. I'm brand new to this, guys. I don't speak no freaky deaky French, alright? I'm learning this just like Well, I mean, if you know it, you're probably looking at me laughing, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't even want to know. Like, I don't know. I knew this old guy worked at this place called DST, and there was this old guy who used to walk around going, I don't know. And he was like making fun of all the young dudes, all the 18-year-olds working there. Okay, so, l'écoute, les, with a grave accent, l'écoute. The that's got an acute accent. So, again, we got the grave with the l'écoute. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Maybe it's just l'écoute, l'écoute, l'écoute. It's got an E at the end. I'm thinking that final E, this is just in my imagination. I'm going to let my imagination run wild here. That the E at the end of the word is like in Russian, they have what's called a myaky znak, which is a soft sign. It looks like a little lowercase b almost, but it signifies that the preceding consonant is soft, which gives it just a t at the end instead of it doesn't where it just abruptly ends, like when you're listening to Russell Brand and he says like I go like he swallows the T. It seems like this T at the end is like a soft sign that you don't actually pronounce it. L'écoute. The T almost becomes a TZ. Okay, so I'm thinking that's what the E does at the end of the word. I'm not sure. We're just going to have to find out. Just like the two L's make the L. I wasn't sure before. Now I think I'm sure. I think we say the L's. L. Like the there's L magazine. You hear how so there's a difference between a soft L and a hard L. L. In American, in English, we say L. We never use a soft L in English. Well, maybe in some cases. Let me in. You usually say let me in. Let me in, dude. There's English usually assumes a hard L. Last night. Later. Later is a little softer. Later. But when you say leftovers, that's a hard L. L. Okay, so L with the LLE at the end of the French word, I'm thinking is a soft L. So again, the E acts as a soft sign, acts as a myaky znak, like in Russian. So that's my theory right now. I'm going to go with that theory. À l'écoute. So, à l'écoute. Okay, so I'm going to guess that the initial L with the apostrophe is also soft. À l'écoute is a special listening activity integrated into every chapter of Rendezvous. These activities are coordinated with a cassette, see, this doesn't apply to us. Okay. Les bonnes manières. Les bonnes manières. Okay, so I don't know if that's how you say this. It looks like it says the good manners. So it's this section must be on etiquette. Etiquette. Okay, les bons, like it looks like it says les bonnes manieres. Les bonnes manieres. Sí, les bonnes manieres sommes. But in French, I'm assuming it's les bonnes manières. Ooh, that sounded pretty good, didn't it? Damn, I'm getting good at this. Dog, shit. Okay, so you will hear some people greeting each other. I knew it, good manners. First, look at the drawings. Next, listen to the conversations. Then do the activity. Replay the conversations as often as you need to. Mark a letter. Da, 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 da. Okay, now it's got some vocabulary. But it's not pronunciation. So we're not going to go through vocabulary until we get to pronunciation now. We're gonna tackle pronunciation until we get to shit. Okay, so what are the names again of these prononciation, étude des prononciation. Prononciation. We're gonna look for those sections. Prononciation. Here we go. Étude des vocabulaire. Étude des vocabulaire. And then we've got étude des prononciations. What's étude? It's a musical term. Like, we're listening to an etude right now, dude. Hey, dude, listen to this etude. I'm gonna play you an etude on the guitar. Avez-vous, avez-vous, les matières, les matières, les matières. Hey, les matières. Dude, we're gonna go to les matières, dude. Avez-vous cette les nationalités? I'm not even gonna. I don't even know. I don't know. Les distractions. Les distractions. En savoir plus. I'm trying to find a. Here's an étude de grammaire. So I'm guessing that this étude is like a section of grammar. Étude, a section. Is that what it means? Is it a section? Here's a word I'm seeing a lot. Francophones. Francophones. It's like, these are French sounds. The Alliance Française, founded in 1883, the non-profit organization was created to maintain and spread the influence of France all over the world. Oh, please. Okay, les mots francophones, ces gens dans les quartiers universitaires. I don't know about this QU thing yet. I don't know how to pronounce the qu. I'm not sure. Ooh, we've got gender or indefinite articles. Okay. The indefinite article, identifying gender, masculine and feminine. We'll get to all this later. I really want to try to find more in terms of pronunciations. What's verophones? Plural of articles, plural of nouns. I'm not really seeing a whole lot here. I'm starting to see some verbs. We'll get to those later. Verbs are really important. We're going to really drill verbs at some point. Verophones. Parler français. Mots-clés. Parlons. Oh, here we go. I found an étude de prononciation. Étude de prononciation. Oral vowels. Some French vowel sounds are represented in the written language by a single letter, a and u, for example. Again, some French vowel sounds are represented in the written language by a single letter, a and u, for example. Other vowel sounds have a variety of spellings. The sound o, for example, can be spelled o, a, and it can be spelled o, a, u, e, a, u, or o with the thatched roof. Okay? O. Okay, so 4 different spellings for o. But a and u, a single letter, will suffice. Prononcer avec les professeurs. Les professeurs. Okay, so ami, agréable, madame, bravo. In Italian you say bravo. Bravo, salle, and classe. The IPA symbol is A. So okay, so we're focusing on A here. Most common spelling A. There's only one way to spell A. Ami. Amigo. Ami. Mi ami. Agréable. Agreeable. Looks like it says agreeable, but only with one G. Agréable. Agreeable. Madame. See, there's an E at the end. I'm guessing with the soft M, you kind of You don't end on but you separate your lips afterwards. Madame, madame. Now, bravo. How would you say bravo in French? It's not like Italian, where you say bravo. I would imagine it's like bravo. I'm guessing. I don't know. I don't know. Sale. Sale. Classe. Classe. Sale. Sale. Classe. Number 2, we've got the I. I, which the most common spellings are I, being an I, and I. I. And then E with a Y. So, remember earlier we saw the Y and we didn't know what to do with it? Okay, so just I. We'll just say I. I think it's at the end of a word you get it, right? I. Ici. Or is it ici? I think it's ici. Ici. I-C-I. Ici. Hypocrite. 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 You're a hypocrite. 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 Ah, you're a hypocrite. Yes, I see you are a hypocrite. Hypocrite. There's typique. Typique. I would imagine it's typical, right? It's fucking typical, man. Really typical liberal, you know. Typique. Typique. Now, dîner. Dîner. It's not diner. It's got the dîner. Vive. We all know what that means. It means to live. In Spanish, you say vivir. Vivir. In Spanish, you say like, yo vivo en Sacramento. Like, I live in Sacramento. In Italian, you say, io abito. Io abito in Sacramento. Okay, so it's different. Not everything's the same. And a lot of people think that Italian and Spanish are so close. They're really not. So you've got dîner. Now, vive. That's what I'm thinking for that vive, that V-I-V-E. Because in Spanish, the V and the B, you say be chico o be grande. Okay, so meaning, is it a V or a B? In Spanish, the V and the B become conflated to where the two sound almost identical. You can almost interchange them. Like cabrón. Sí, cabrón. I would imagine in French, it's very much a V. A V. And he's got the V. It's a fucking V. Alright, so I think it's vive. V-I-V-E. Vive. Now, ski. How can you mess up ski? S-K-I. There's only one way to make that sound. Ski. Ski. That's all there is to it. There's no question about that. Okay, I had to take a quick break. I went and ate some food, and I'm probably going to be burping and glorping and grunting, because that's what happens when I eat and I try to do this. I start having like bodily malfunctions. I pull a Joe Biden and shit my pants for everybody. But while I was eating, I remember how we were talking about the word mal, and how it means like bad in Spanish, but it means like time or turn in Germanic languages, and I couldn't remember what it meant in Russian. Actually, the word is malo. It's kind of pronounced mala, because you, like I said, you had lied. And the O, when it's unstressed, kind of turns into like a schwa, kind of an A sound. Я мало говорю по-русски. Okay, I speak a little bit of Russian. So malo, in that case, means a little bit. So I think malo in Italian means bad in the masculine. Um, in Spanish, it's just mal, soft L. But hard L, malo in Russian means a little bit, like few or little, little, a little. Okay, I speak a little Russian. Я мало говорю по-русски. Okay, I speak a little bit. You can also say я немного говорю по-русски. Means like I not a lot speak Russian, but that's more commonly used. So like if you're saying like I don't speak a lot of Russian, you could say я мало говорю по-русски. But I might say я немного говорю по-русски. Okay, yeah, I speak not a lot of Russian. You can also say я плохо говорю по-русски, means I speak badly. I speak Russian badly. Someone might say to you, they might say like ты хорошо говоришь по-русски, like you speak good Russian. You might decide to become humble and say like, you might say like нет, я плохо говорю по-русски, like no, I speak bad Russian, like, you know, and then they might reassure you, or they might say, yeah, you're right, you're pretty fucking bad, you're pretty shitty at it. But I was trying to remember mal in the context of Russian, and I remember I was just kind of in my little wannabe French bubble there for a second, and I couldn't quite get myself into that Russian mindset. But while I was up eating some stew, I kind of thought of it. That's all. Okay, so back to where we were in l'étude des prononciations. Okay, see, now I got to get out of that Russian phase. Okay, so number 3, Aussie. Aussie? I don't know what that means. AUSSI. It makes me think of like Aussie, like a Australian person. Aussie. But there's no E on the end. But there's an E at the end, like an I. So like I want to say like Aussie. Aussie. Okay, and then there's radio. 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 Beaucoup. What does that mean? A lot, right? Beaucoup. Merci beaucoup means like thanks a lot, right? Thank you very much. Remember on Full Metal Jacket? No, tout beaucoup, tout beaucoup. No, brakai, tout beaucoup. And then, okay, so here's a word. Looks like it says chose. Like, I chose the red one. It's the same spelling, CHOSE. Now, this is a French word, so it's going to be different. It's not going to be chose. I want to say it's chose. 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 It's not chose. 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 That's my best guess for now. Okay, faux, you know, faux, like faux pas, or like that was faux leather. Faux. Faux. Like fake. That's what I'm thinking. And then there's one more. Number 3 is O. Drôle. Okay. O. O. Drôle. 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 Throaty R. It's not a rolled R. Maybe it is a rolled R. Is it a rolled R? Drôle. 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 That's a hard one to say. When you're an American, you try to use the throaty R. Drôle. Drôle. That's my best approximation right there. I don't think I can do it any better than that. But I might be totally wrong on the pronunciation of that. So that's the O sound. So yeah. Okay, so number 4 is O. O. So O, but with the nasally O. O. Objet. Objet. It's like object, but without the C. Is that a typo, or is that legit? Object. Object. I'm thinking it's objet. It sounds like oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Okay, here's one I've heard a lot. Hum. Hum. Like Homme. Does that mean man? Isn't that like that singer from Queens of the Stone Age, Josh Home? Josh Home. Home. Here's notation. The word notation is in here. Okay, so the pronunciation is going to be like notation, notation. Okay, and then normal, 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 normal. Normal. So I don't know if they ever use the rolled R. I mean, do we use a throaty R for every R in French? Would you say normal? Normal? It sounds more natural than trying to do the throaty R. Normal? I don't know. So here's one, encore. I always knew that. I always had a suspicion about that word. I always thought that was a French word. Encore. So, how do they say? Encore? Or is it encore? Encore? I think maybe that last R gets rolled because there's an E at the end of it, that sort of Miyake-Knock thing. Encore? I'm guessing that's just my... Oh, snob. The next word is snob. 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 I'm a French snob. 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 He's a snob. At any rate, that's the O, the nasally O. So number 5 is the Y. And I think it said here that the Y takes the E sound. So, utile, 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 utile. So is it utile or is it utile? Utile. I'm gonna put my money on utile. It sounds like it's like saying like useful. I don't know. I don't know what it means. We'll find out one of these days, huh? Université. 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 Musique. Musique. Bureau. 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 Come on. It's at the fucking bureau, man. I work for the bureau, dude. Bureau. Oh, now flute. But flute has the U. Okay, so we've seen it now on the O. We've seen it on the I. And now we're seeing it on the U. Flute. Flute. I gotta not make fun of this stuff. Okay. Flute. Rue. R-U-E. You see that a lot. You see that. You will rue the day. Rue. Isn't that also like a road? Or like an avenue? Or a boulevard? Rue. Sounds like you're hawking up a looch. Rue. Okay. I don't know why that had the I. Maybe it's Ri. Maybe it's Ri. I have no idea. Common spellings oo and oo. Okay. IP. The IPA symbol is the Y. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. Okay, so in Russian, their U, their letter U, looks like a Y. Like when in like a cursive lowercase y that we would see in Russian is U. So maybe that has become the IPA symbol for some reason. For U. Now number 6, we've got an E, R, A, like easy, A, because I guess with the EZ at the end of the word they don't pronounce the Z. They don't pronounce the R at the end of the word. E, écoutez, écoutez, écoutez. What is that? Ecouter. Écoutez, écoutez, écoutez. It almost looks like encounter, but without the N's. It's like two N's missing out of encounter. It becomes écoutez. Excusez, excusez-moi, right? Excusez-moi, excusez-moi. Okay, so excusez with the EZ at the end. Télévision, télévision. It has two acute stress marks, both on the two E's in television. Télévision, which one's stressed? The first one is like télévision, 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 télévision. It's got to have the nasal like on at the end. Télévision, télévision. I guess that's best I can do. Répéter, répéter. It looks like it says repeater. It's R-E-P-E-T-E-R. Two acute stress marks. Répéter. A word that looks like sight, but with the accent on the E. So, citer, citer. Okay, here's a word. C-A-H-I-E-R. C-A-H-I-E-R. Looks like kahir. Almost sounds like an Indian word. Kahir. Is that H silent? Calle. Calle. What does that sound like in Spanish? On the street? En la calle. So kahir, calle. It sounds like it. Who knows? I'm going to find these things out sooner or later once we get to vocabulary, but we're not there yet. We have to learn pronunciation first. In any language, you have to learn pronunciation first. Okay, aimer. A-I-M-E-R. He's the aimer. They're like some dudes at the shooting range. His friends are all standing back there like, oh, he's the aimer. But it looks more like aimer. 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 Who knows? I'm just guessing. Aimer. Okay, number 7 has this other kind of E. It looks like a kind of a backwards, upside down number 3. I imagine that is like kind of a hard E. So you've got the E grave, and then the E with thatched thing. What do you call that? What is the name of that? Circonflexe. Circonflexe. So we got être, raison d'être, right? So that's the word être, raison d'être. That's a hard one to say. Raison d'être, raison d'être. So I'm trying to say it the right way because we say like raison d'être, raison d'être, raison d'être, être. Raison d'état, reason of state. Raison d'être. Chaise, like chaise longue. Chaise. Chaise. Sounds like Scheiße. The word for shit in German. Chaise. Question. Question. It's a freaking question, man. Question. Question. 13, 13, T-R-E-I-Z-E, 13, 13. Now, T-R-E-S with the grave. I would think that S maybe is silent. Très, like très bien. Is that right? Is that a word? Très bien. Très, T-R-E-S with a grave. Examen. Okay. I think that's a word used in Spanish, right? Examen. Is it? Examen? Like an exam? Examen. 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 Now we got Eugene here. Number 8. Okay, so this is the like remember the slash through the O? What did we have that on before? Slash through the O. Where is it at? Where you at? The fuck is it? Oh, do. Slash through the O is U. Eugene. Eugene. For Eugene. 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 Okay. Europe. Europe. For Europe. Europe. No. Europe. Neutron. Jimmy Neutron. I was told one time I look like Jimmy Neutron. 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 For neutron. Neutron. Okay. Here we go. Boofs. Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf. Boofer in the butt. Okay, so boof. What does that mean? Does it mean beef? Buff? Buff. Fucking buff, dude. Fucking Doyle from the Misfits is buff. Fucking buff. Alright. How do you say it? Boofs? Boofs? Do you pronounce the S? Boofs? Serious? 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 S-E-R-I-E-U-S-E. With the acute stress over the first E. Or the first E, I should say. Serious. 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 Are you serious? Okay, eucalyptus. Okay, this is going to be a hard one. Eucalyptus. 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 That's so confusing. Eucalyptus. Okay. So now again we've got boof. Okay, we're on 9 now. Boof, without the S at the end. Déjeuner. Déjeuner. Jeunesse. Okay, we've heard of Jeunesse, right? Isn't that like a brand of like that like supplement water that I almost said supplement bong water. That supplement bong water, the powder that you can put in your drink to give you some oomph, make you buff. Jeunesse. 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 H-E-U-R-E. Heure. Heure. Or is that the rolled R? Heure. 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 Jeune. I'm totally off my depth now. I'm like out in the deep end of the pool. Jeune. Jeune. Okay, so professeur. Professeur. Professor, right? Professeur. Okay, number 10. Ooh, we've got a grave accent on a U. And what do we got? Okay, so this is the oo sound. And it can be spelled O-U, O-U grave, or O-U circonflexe. Circonflexe. Okay, so there's a U with that circonflexe. So that's pronounced U. U. O-U. U. Ouverture. Overture, right? Okay, overture. Ouverture. Ouverture. Tourisme. Tourisme. Turismo, Gran Turismo. But no, that Gran Turismo, that's got to be either, that's Spanish, right? Or it could be Italian. But this is tourism, right? Tourisme, tourisme, courageux, courageux, courageux. Okay, is that courage? Courageux. All these superfluous letters that don't get pronounced. Courageux, courageux. Okay, Coute with the circumflex over the U. Coat. Outrage. Next one, this is the last one. Outrage. 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 Okay. And yeah, that should be good enough for that for now. Yeah, I'll come back with a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to switch gears a little bit here because I got this little book, this French phrase book, the Penguin French phrase book. And I think that there's some pronunciation in here. And let's check it out. Pronunciation. Okay, so the pronunciation guide is intended for people with no knowledge of French. That's me. As far as possible, the system is based on English pronunciation. So I guess they're not using the IPA here. This means that complete accuracy may sometimes be lost for the sake of simplicity, but the reader should be able to understand French pronunciation and make himself understood if he reads this section carefully. So vowels. French vowels are much purer than English. They're purer. They're more pure. So, A, the letter A, as A in apple. Symbol is A. Famille. Ooh, okay, so in this case, remember how we talked about the double L? El? Well, in this case, famille, it says famille. Famille. Okay, as if the L's were the yes sound, like Spanish. So now I'm confused. Which one is it? Famille. Famille. That's how it says to say it. Famille. That sounds wrong. Famille. Famille. That's how I would think. That's how I would think it is. Famille. Okay, but it says famille. 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 Okay, so the cluster AI and E, as in pen. Symbol is E. Pen. Maître. Maître. It says maître. 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 Yeah, the pronunciation guide sucks here. Okay, and then vinaigre. Vinaigre. Okay, so vinegar for vinaigrette, like vinaigrette, right? It's saying the way that the pronunciation here, it's really like, I think the IPA is better. This thing, it's kind of like approximating. It's like vinaigre. Okay, and then so here's an E with the grave, ER, as in AI in pair, air, air, a, pair, pair. Okay, yeah, so the word's pair. It's PERE with the grave over the first E. Pair. Pair. Okay, so then we've got the acute, the A with the acute accent, and the ER-EZ, and is A as in pay. So the difference between pair and pay. Pair. Pair. and then the A is in pay. Élastique, élastique, like elastic. Élastique, élastique, and then marcher or marcher. Is it marcher? Marcher. It looks like marcher. So, marcher, or is it marcher? Marcher. Okay, and then there's just the A unaccented, or EU. And it says this is the vowel sound. Well, it says the, but is it the or is it the? I don't think it's the because it's EU. So I think it's symbol is E with a little, what is that? A little tiny R. So le, je, le, je, mercredi, mercredi, and I think that is that like miércoles in Spanish, meaning Wednesday? Mercredi, is that right? Mercredi. Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna have to drill some of these. Okay, so this next one is EU plus L or R. So not an English sound, but it is a little like the sound in her or in burr. So without sounding the R. So yeah, b. Symbol is like OE mashed together. B. Beurre. 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 And then this one is seul. 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 Now the next letter is I, like English letter I, but most of these Romance languages would pronounce it E. E. Okay, so as E in meat, symbol EE. Now it says in B, I before E is usually pronounced like a Y. E. Merci. Merci. And of course that means like thank you. In this case, this merci, think of the word Mercedes and word Mercedes, okay, as in a name. It's a girl's name, Mercedes. And there's Merced. I'm saying it like the French way, but I'm trying to say it like the Spanish way. Merced is it's like a county. Is it a county or a city in California? Merced. Okay, I think it's a county, Merced, or at least it's an area, right? So what does that word mean, Merced? It's a religious term, usually used in Catholicism, and it means grace or mercy. Okay, so the word mercy comes from it. Mercy, merci. Okay, so it's like giving. It's like you're showing mercy or grace to somebody else. So merci means thank you, and then fermier. Oh, fermier. Fermier. Now it says here I before E is usually pronounced like a Y. Fermier. Fermier. Mier. Okay. It made me think of, okay, in the Breakfast Club, remember, what's her name? The red-haired girl from the Breakfast Club who's in 16 Candles. What's her name? Molly Ringwald. Remember when dude's tearing the pages out of the book and he says, Molay really pumps my nads, and she corrects him and says, Moliere. And then they play the little French music. Okay, so I don't know what that has to do with this. Moliere. Fit. He says, Molay really pumps my nads. Moliere. But this is Fermier. 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 fermier, fermier. Okay, so this O, as in olive, ah, olive, symbol O, post, olive, post, post, and then pomme, Pomme, like pomade, I guess. Pomme, pomme, two M's, pomme. This next one is O, and it's like, oh shit, like that's how it says that it's pronounced. But there's, so it's spelled O and then AU and then EAU. O, like bow. Oh, bow. Oh, au gratin. Symbol O. And this word, what is it, chode? Chode. So no. It says to pronounce it show. Show. So it's O, but it's pronounced C. It's spelled CHAUD. You'd think that'd be chode. Chowd. It's a chowd. But it says to pronounce it show. Show. CHAUD. Show. Okay. So this next one is EAU. Just like the example. That's a word in itself, and it's pronounced O. Like eau de toilette. 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 Eau de toilette. Remember? So like whenever you see some toilet water, the odeur de toilette, well, it's cologne or perfume. It's like odor of the toilet. I mean, that doesn't sound very good. It sounds like you're smelling something that smells like a toilet. Toilet, in the European sense, means to wash up. Go make toilet. Go make a toilet for yourself. And it just means to go wash up, right? It's like, that's your toilet, is your cleanup. And you taking care of your hygiene. Because the French are known for that. O, EAU. O, eau de toilette. Okay, so OU as oo and moon. So OU is pronounced like oo. OU is oo, like moon. Symbol oo. Ouvert. 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 Or is it ouvert? I would think it's ouvert. Ouvert. Oh, like overt. OUVERT. Ouvert. And then TOUT, like tout. Like you're touting something. TOUT. But it says to pronounce it two. Two. Tout le monde. Remember the Megadeth song? TOUT. Two. Okay, so the letter U, not an English sound. Oo. Symbol oo with the E at the. It's like a. It looks like an exponent. So it's like the letter U with like an exponent that is a little E. It's, even with my glasses, it's hard to see. So oo, not an English sound. Round the lips and push them forwards, as though to say oo and try to say E. Okay, so what that is that's an umlaut, is what that is. So not an English sound. Round the lips and push them forward, as though to say oo, kind of like doing Donald Trump talks and his mouth is a little square. So I had like a little Adam Sandler moment there. So push the lips forward as though to say oo and say E. 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 So you're saying E, but with your mouth like a E. So the symbol is U to the E power, and that's the U, the RUE. You'll rue the day, son. Rue. Okay, and then musée. It's a museum, right? So rue, I think, is like a street. I'm thinking rue is a street. And then there's musée, rue. All right, we're looking good. Okay, so this next sound, oi, as wa, like moi. There we are. There's the moi. And it doesn't use that as an example. It says vois-tu, vois-tu. I don't know what that means. It looks like voiture, like a vulture, but a voiture. Voiture, vois-tu, vois-tu. Voiture, vois-tu, vois-tu. Okay, so the next one is ui, and the sound as we. It's kind of like when you okay, so OUI, we is yes, correct? Okay, so but this is just UI. So the symbol we okay, pluie, pluie. That's PLUIE, pluie. And then and now it's using the we example. We, OUI, we, which means yes. I don't know what pluie means. Pluie. So those are the vowels. Okay, so now the nasals. These sounds should be made through the nose, but without pronouncing the N. Okay, so on. You're not pronouncing the M, the N. Okay, so as an in quantity. Quant, on. Quantity. As an in quantity. I thought we're not supposed to pronounce the N. Quantity has an N. The symbol is A with the to the nth power. A to the nth power. Manger. Manger. It's like manger. 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 Okay, and then vent. Vent is vent. VENT. What is vent? I don't know. I don't think that's the 20 thing. Okay, that's EN. Okay, so manger and then vent is VEN. So AN and EN take that en sound. Okay, so whether it's AN or EN, you get the en. Manger. Vent. Okay, so now we've got ON. I don't know what this apostrophe M is. I don't know how that fits, and it doesn't say anything about that. It's got not apostrophe. It's got parentheses. It's got that on, and it's got the okay. So the ON in prong on. How's that different from the AN? On. Manger. Vent. And then ON is in prong. En, or on in laundry. En, symbol O to the nth power. En, O-N, en. And then P-O-N-T, pont. So en and pont. And now we've got A-I-N. I don't know what these parentheses, the M in parentheses is supposed to be. So as in anger, A-I-N, fang. Okay, and that's F-A-I-M. So why is F-A-I-M making the all or the sound? Anger, fang. Sounds like David Bowie. Fang. Okay, so in anger. Fang. Okay. So now we've got, what is this? In or in? In. Fin. Vent. Okay, so the IN ending sounds like on. And is that being grouped underneath the same as a? No. Vent. A is an anger. A. And that's under the same. It goes to the next page, so it's hard to tell if that's supposed to be under that rubric. But this I-N, A, Ain, I-N. Fain, Fain, V-I-N. Like Vin Diesel. Vain. Okay, so the next one, I-E-N. Now with the symbol ye, yen, bien, bien, B-I-E-N, like bien, muy bien. Man, if it was only as easy as Spanish. Spanish is probably the easiest language an American English speaker can try and learn. Because with Spanish, there's really like no like hidden like there's no sound like this is really confusing because a lot of these vowels and diphthongs they all kind of sound the same with all these different spellings. With Spanish, it's like what you see is what you get. I mean, there's some things that are a little bit different from English, but once you learn the basic rules, they're very consistent. This is really inconsistent, and there's all these superfluous letters, which makes it very difficult. So, yeah, bien, bien. Okay, so now un, something like in earn, or burnt, So that's un, symbol e to the nth power. Brr. B-R-U-N. See, I would think blend. Blend. There it is. Burnt. Bleu. Bleu. And then you. Another word spelled U-N is So bleu and So ing, as in English, the symbol ing, so camping. It's like a cognate, I think. So it sounds just like the English camping, camping, camping. Okay? That's not really a vowel, though. So consonants, CH takes the sh sound, so it doesn't take the ch like in Spanish where you say chola, like you're not going to get that ch. You get the sh as in ship. Okay, so CH, symbol SH, chercher, chercher, CHER, share, like share, the bitch, and then CHER again. So it's two shares pressed up against each other. Chercher, chercher. Okay, so then we got J, G plus E, so the J sound. Yeah, usually in Romance languages, whenever you have a G with an E coming after, it takes the J, like gerontology or Gentile. Strangely enough, I don't think that's the rule in Latin. With Latin, I think it takes the G sound, even when followed by an E or an I. I might be wrong with that, but we'll go through those eventually too. Maybe we'll just like do this with every language. Just do all the funky vowel sounds for every language. But yeah, I wouldn't mind actually learning a little bit of Latin as well. I'm not gonna wash my dirty. Okay, so chercher, and then the j, as in pleasure, je. Okay, so the j, in this case, so like how I said it was like gerontology or gematria or germaphobe. In this case, it's je, like pleasure. Okay, so je. It's the zh sound. In Russian, they have their own letter for that. It's that spider-looking letter. So, like, as in garage. Garage. Like your garage. Okay, I guess garage is a French word. Garage. Garage. It's not garage, it's garage. Okay, so G plus A, O, or U is just g, as in good. In Pronunciation Guide, G is sometimes followed by H to make this clearer. So, Guide. Guide. So the word guide, Guide, in French, I guess is pronounced guide. And I'm wondering if that E at the end gives it that soft sign, like guide. Guide. That sounds right. Guide. We're on the consonants. Okay, the GN sound. It's basically like an enye in Spanish. It's got the N with the little wave over the top. It's the nye sound. So GN making that sound is the same as in Italian, like gnocchi or sono compagna. So NY, NY as in canyon, canyon. And so here's a word, pegni, pegni. I don't really like this pronunciation guide very much. And so it's Peigne, pegni, pegni. Okay, so H is not pronounced. So it's like Spanish that way, like horchata, or like hombre. Okay, the H at the beginning isn't pronounced. Um, so hotel, hotel. So the O has that guy. What is that called again? Circonflex, circonflex, accent circonflex. It's gonna be hard for me to learn how to roll with it. A bientôt, a bientôt, accent circonflex. Okay, so we've got one of those. Hotel. I think it's hotel. Hotel. It's spelled just like hotel, but with the circumflex over the top of the O. So, not pronounced, but sometimes aspirate. So, aspirate means like hotel, hotel, hotel. Doesn't sound right, because if it's not pronounced, sometimes aspirate. Hotel, hotel. Sounds about right. Okay, so now ill, I-L-L, is pronounced as the Y. So here we go. We got a double L going on here. I-L-L is fee, F-I-L-L-E. The word F-I-L-L-E, whatever that means, is fee, fee, fee. Okay, and A-I-L is also as a Y, but it's A. Travail. A-I-L is pronounced A-Y. Travail. Travail. Like travail. T-R-A-V-A. T-R-A-V-A-I-L. Travail is travail. 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 Okay, so now E-U-I-L, as in feuille, is like O-E-Y. So where do we have O-E with the vowels? I don't see it. I don't see an O-E in here. This really weird E-U-I-L. It's a Y, but U, U-E, feuille, feuille, F-E-U-I-L-L-E. Feuille. Travail, travail, fury, fury. E-I-L is like A, like soleil, soleil. E-I-L, like Soleil Moonfry, right? Bobby Beausoleil. Soleil, soleil. So E-I-L is A. E-U-I-L is ue, fue, Q-U. Okay, Q-U, this is one I was curious about. Always pronounced symbol K. Always pronounced K, but not Q. So it's not Q, it's K. Always pronounced K, but not KW as in English. So in English we say quail. Okay, so they don't... Qualité. Okay, qualité is like quality. Qualite with the acute accent. Qualité. Qualité is like quality. Qualité. So the R is rolled more than English, it says, but it doesn't give an example. Now, up till now, I've been doing the throaty R. We do the back of the throat. The R is back here. But it's saying here is rolled more than English. So, if that's the case, we're talking that's a rolled R. But if you're rolling in the back of the throat, got to get used to that. In Dutch, they use that because Dutch people love French. I think that's one way that French has influenced Dutch. It seems like, kind of like the Russians, the Dutch all sort of really like worship French and German. And I wouldn't say the Dutch worship German, but the Dutch definitely respect German. They can usually speak it, but they're really into French. Like, it's really considered like you're really chic if you're a Dutch person who speaks French. It's like that's a sign of like being distinguished, I think, in the Netherlands is to be able to speak French. Or it's just really common, like they love French. And French has influenced the Dutch language quite a bit. So R is rolled more than in English. So that's pretty vague. That doesn't say anything about the throaty R. So S, as S in sip, sucre, is S-U-C-R-E, sucré, sucre, sucre. Okay, so that's talking about the S. But what about the rest of the word? That's sucre, sucre. Okay, and S as in visit, so giving it the Z sound. That's what you get in Italian. Like, okay, so in Spanish, when you say house, you say casa, casa. But in Italian, it's casa. It's not casa, it's casa. Spelled the same, but it takes that Z sound when it's placed between two vowels. So apparently it's the same in French, and it's visite, visite. Okay, and that's VISITE. So it's like visit with an E at the end. Okay, and it's visite, visite. Okay, so the final S is not pronounced unless the next word starts with a vowel. Okay. That's kind of like the Dutch N at the end of the word. That happens a lot in Dutch. They drop their N's, but if the next following word starts with a vowel, the N kind of gets replaced. We've got that here, the S at the end. Trois femmes. Trois femmes. Femmes. So like three women, three girls, three women. Femme. A femme fatale. Okay. Trois femmes. Trois femmes. Three women. Okay. So it says the final S is not pronounced unless the next word starts with a vowel or a silent H. Trois hommes. Trois hommes. Trois hommes. That's three men. Okay, so three women is trois femmes. Trois femmes. Trois femmes. And then three men is trois hommes. Trois hommes. Trois autos. Okay, so that's like Dutch. The auto, like a car. Auto for car. It's the same as in Dutch. Trois autos. Trois autos. Three cars. Trois autos. Trois autos. Three cars. Okay, and so that's kind of the end of it. No, maybe not. No, there's more. The final consonant of a French word is not normally pronounced. Okay, that's good to know. Again, I'm going to repeat that. The final consonant of a French word is not normally pronounced. Why? However, if the next word begins with a vowel or silent H, the final consonant is then pronounced as the first sound of that word. Okay? So that final consonant sounds like the initial of the next word. Like les Anglais, les Anglais, like the English, like the English speaking people. Les Anglais, les Anglais. French has no stress as in English. Okay, I understand. I'm trying to think of a multi-syllabic word. Gonorrhea. Okay, well in English I would say that like I would say that in English the first syllable is stressed. Gonorrhea. Okay, it's I mean gonorrhea. Gonorrhea. It's gonorrhea. No, gonorrhea. Where's she gone? She's gonorrhea. So what it's saying, it's basically saying, the point it's making here, French has no stress as in English. It has a musical inflection which runs throughout a sentence rather than individual words. So your stress falls in different parts of the sentence rather than in different parts of the words. Syllables have more or less equal value, unlike English. Okay, so it's saying it's not like English. French has no stress, like English has stress. It has. That was a little bit confusing me because I think that we do have some stress in English. It's not very pronounced, but Russian's really crazy because the stress could be on any syllable, and it's very important. Like if you put the stress on the wrong syllable in Russia, they'll throw you in prison and they'll torture you and your kids. Okay, so no, not really. They don't really do that there. I have to say that as a disclaimer. I have to like let you know that I'm joking so that people don't like, oh my god, man, what are you saying, man? You know, like, he's totally prejudiced against Russians, man. Like, come on. With all the prejudice right now in this country going on against Russians, I certainly am not one of those people. I live in a city with a lot of Russians, and I went to a college with a lot of Russians, and I took Russian classes when I was there, and everybody in those classes was Russian. It's an easy A for Russians to take Russian language. Most Americans drop out before. Like, there's a couple of Americans left in second semester, but by third semester, they're all gone. And I didn't take fourth semester, but I imagine there's not a single American person in there. So anyway, so French has no stress like English does. It has a musical inflection which runs throughout a sentence rather than individual words. Syllables have more or less equal value, unlike English. Although the last pronounced syllable is sometimes lightly stressed. Okay, like Jose, like Français. Yeah, well, I mean, there's stress there. So what the fuck is the point of the stress marks then? The stretch marks. So all those other stress marks and stress indicators don't really mean anything. It's just a matter of spelling and lets you know which words are which. Avoid anything resembling strong English stress, but you can give a little weight to the end of French words. Compare the English Canada with the stress on the first syllable and the French Canada, 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 where stress is equal on all three syllables. Canada. Okay. Fine. I get it. There's a whole nother section here. And it's basically, it's phrases. So we're getting into the phrases now. We're not, this is essentials. We're not in pronunciation anymore. So that's the end. And then I've got this book. I think I'm going to end the program here. But I've got this book here, the French Verbs Handbook. The Berlitz. Berlich. I call it Berlich because I used to have this audio tape for Dutch. And the woman talking on the tape sounded like such a fucking bitch, man. Like, everything, she just, like, really enunciated everything. Like, she sounded like she was on the rag, like, when she was, It's really bad. I mean, I was listening to it going, man, this woman's a fucking bitch, man. She needs to get, something. She needs to get something. So this Berlich French verbs book doesn't have a pronunciation section, I don't think. It talks about verb. What do verbs do? What do verbs govern? Model French verb. I have the Berlich Italian one too. Subject index on C. Index C. This is all subject index. I'm looking for pronunciation. Pronunciation 5B. There's not much pronunciation of verb endings. Okay, here's some pronunciation. So these few pointers may prove useful when studying verbs. Pronunciation of pronouns. The S, which is normally silent at the end of pronouns, nous, N-O-U-S, vous, V-O-U-S, il, I-L-S, and elle, E-L-L-E-S. Now I'm wondering, does it take the el or the yis sound? A's, A. The S, which is normally silent at the end of pronouns, must always be pronounced as Z if the verb begins with a vowel H. This is called liaison. Liaison. At the end of pronouns. Oh, like he runs. She. Okay, so when it's using a pronoun before a verb, if the pronoun ends in S, the S falls silent unless the verb begins with a silent H, in which case the S turns into like a Z. Ils à moi. Ils et moi. Like ils, ament. I-L-S, A-I-M-E-N-T. Ils et moi. Ils et moi. It looks like ils ailment. Les films Italiens. They like Italian films. They like. Ils et moi. Ils et moi. They like. Ils et moi. Okay, so we are arriving at midday. Nous arrivons. Nous arrivons à midi. Nous arrivons à midi. Ils habitent à Milan. Ils habitent à Milan. They live in Milan. Ils habitent à Milan. Ils habitent à Milan. They live. Ils habitent. Note that words beginning with aspirate H. I gotta figure out what this aspirate H is. Ils habitent. Is that the aspirate H? Marked with an asterisk in the index. Okay, words beginning with an aspirate H, marked with an asterisk in the index and in dictionary, require no liaison. So if it's an aspirate H, meaning, I don't think that this one was. I don't think that ils habitent is one. But in dictionary, I guess it's just pretty universal that in all dictionaries there's like a little asterisk there if it's an aspirate H that starts the word. Pronunciation of verb endings. Okay, ER, the ending of very many infinitives, so like ER verbs in Spanish, like entender, is pronounced like e. Okay? So you don't pronounce that R, it's just e. And then on at the end of the present participle is pronounced without the T, as in the single nasal vowel of the word en. On. An E ending, ES, S, X, and T endings on any verbs are silent. So if there's a verb with E, ES, S, X, or T endings on any of these verbs are silent. That's going to be confusing, because if these verbs are going to be conjugated, because in Spanish the endings of the verbs like mean a whole lot. So if all these endings on French verbs are dropped, it seems like the pronoun is going to be the only indicator of verb conjugation. I mean, I don't know. I'm guessing here. Okay, E, E, S, S, X, and T endings are silent on verbs. The O and S, the ending for nous, N-O-U-S, first person plural, on, ons, O-N-S, the ending for nous, first person plural, is pronounced, okay, that's us, okay? First person plural. That's like we. Okay, us and we. Got it. Is pronounced like the end of bon, the S being silent. On. Ez, the ending for vous, second person plural, is pronounced like e. So, yeah, like chez nous. C-H-E-Z, chez nous. So that Z is silent. ENT, the ending for third person plural verbs. It's like the en in Spanish. Corren, they run. The en signifies third person plural. In French, it's ent instead of just en. But it has the same effect because that T is silent. On, but it's pronounced like on. Okay, and then ONT has the same pronunciation as O and S. So it's on. Everything's on. I guess that's why when people make fun of French, the French language, they go, because everything is the on sound. Okay, so AIS and AIT and AIENT endings of the imperfect tense. Imperfect means not completed action. Are pronounced as the the E in the English word let. Okay, so So AIS is AIT is like parfait. Like parfait, right? Okay, so if you get a parfait from McDonald's, it's pronounced parfait. And then AIENT, IENT, like compliant, is pronounced Okay. So, 5C, French verb forms given in this book: infinitive, present participle. Imperatives are given in the verb tables. So this is no longer pronunciation. When the instructions are given for a process, as in recipes, it is also common to find the infinitive used as the imperative. Okay, yeah. This is no longer pronunciation. Okay, so I guess that wraps up our pronunciation program for today. I mean, this seems to me like it's something that would be really boring for anybody besides me to watch. So I might put this out there just for shigs, but I don't know. I might just keep it private. Alright, well, anyway, it's done. Over and out.